So whenever it comes to really picking up the stocks and thinking about how and which way I'm going to work on it, so you'll have to always think that in the market you'll have to focus on five things. That is the most important thing that I have experienced. That whenever we want to work in market, we'll have to look at five things, and that is through the sleep model. Okay. So if we want to trade into a particular stock, we'll have to really implement this framework. We'll have to look into selection of the stock, then entering it at the right time, exiting at the right time, and allocating right amount of money on it, and develop rules for this. Why we need to develop rules for this? Because when we develop rules for this, we our way of working in the market becomes highly object oriented. Basically, there is a lot of subjectivity that will go away once we start thinking in terms of just following our rules. So whenever we want to pick up a stock, think about it. Will your trigger come from fundamentals or will your trigger come from technicals, right? When it comes to fundamentals, the real reason why we all work in the market through the fundamentals is basically we will have to look at these aspects. For fundamentals, if you are looking at, we'll have to really look at the critical aspects, that what kind of investment we are doing. If it is value investing, you'll have to really look at the valuations first, right? You'll have to look at the valuations first and then look at the performance or the earning of the business. So that is what is your approach if you are going to do value investing. If you are going to do growth investing, or we call it as momentum, now that is the place where you'll have to think differently. You'll have to think about performance of the business, the earnings of the business first, while you can skip upon the valuations. So this is what you'll have to really look at in terms of fundamentals. Whether you are going to do value-based investing, then focus on valuations. If you are going to do momentum, if you're going to do, kind of a quick, fast trading, then you'll have to really look at in terms of fundamentals, how is the growth of the company is coming up. Now, when it comes to growth of the company, we will have to look at how is their EBITDA growing, that is pure pay operations, how they are growing. Then you'll have to look at how is their profit after tax growing and how is their earning per share going. So if these things are positive, that is where you'll have to really start picking up the stocks for growth or the momentum based trading. Now, when it comes to valuation based investing, then what is important is that you'll have to really look at the business, why it has become cheaper. The first question you'll have to look is why it has gone cheaper. Okay. Now, if it has gone cheaper due to the fall in earnings, if there is a fall in earnings, it was a good business, but suddenly their earnings have gone down, their profit have gone down, then you'll have to question the quality of management. Will they be able to recover the situation? Okay. Or the best sign is that the management is also not good is look at their debt. If they are into huge debt, then this is something where you'll have to skip this business from your value-based investing. But the ideal case of value-based investing is when there is actually no fall in earnings. If there is no fall in earnings and your business has gone cheaper on the price chart, that is the best case where you'll have to look for the value-based investing kind of an approach, right? So I'll give you an example about value-based kind of an approach. It's a very straightforward example, which I've discussed in yesterday's video also. Look at the case of Jyoti Resins, right? First thing first, you can observe here is that Jyoti Resins stock P by E is 25.7, which is quite cheaper. If you look at its 5-year average, it is sitting on the 5-year average. So on one side, the stock has become cheaper, but look at its profit growth. It is still at its place. Look at its return ratios. It is still doing well, good. Look at its OPM. It is still doing well, right? All this is happening. And if I look at the yearly performance, you can see is continuously on the rise. It is steadily on the rise. The last dip that they have faced was in 2017 when it year on year it fell. Otherwise, from 2017 onwards, it has been steadily growing. So you have a business where earnings, that is the EPS, has been going up. But what has happened to the price on the chart? So you look onto the chart, you find that the price over the 3 years has gone down. So the price has gone down. You can observe over here the price of the stock. If I pull it up to 5 years, you can observe over here. Though the price has gone down, the earnings, if you observe, they have been steady. They have been up. So your earnings are up, your price is down, so the valuation scenario has improved. Now, this is something where you can put up an investment theory which is around value based. Now, when it comes to growth based investing, coming to your stock, okay. So your question was how to pick stocks for trade. Now this was about value based. Now if you want to look at growth based, then simply look at companies where earnings are growing at a very strong rate. At a short term level also it is growing. At the long term level also growing. I'll give you a very good example of growth based investing, that is Tips Industries. Okay. Definitely it is not at a spot where I would enter today, but we have entered and it is still on our kind of a portfolio. So you can observe in this business, Tips Industries, what they are doing, they are basically streaming all the music rights that get. They stream it over YouTube, they stream it over your Spotify. So for every stream they are getting their royalties, and that is where if you look at it, your investment is one time but your earnings are just compounding. Population is growing, internet spread is growing, reach of internet is growing, even the free time in a way is growing in this world. So their earnings are just growing. You have a high return ratio, you have a high profit growth, you have amazing operating margin. Then while you are doing all this, what has happened? Valuations are on the higher side. That's why this is a scenario that we have to consider on the growth side, right? While all this is happening, you can see its growth is on a very strong footing. Where you can look at it is basically look at its current quarter earning, previous quarter earning. It's a jump. Current quarter earning versus the last year's same quarter earning. Again, that is a very solid growth. So it is growing quarter on quarter. And in such cases, typically you would find that your company might be sitting on a best ever quarter of it. So this is where the tips is today. The best revenue, the best EBITDA, the best margins, the best profit after tax, the best net profit, the best EPS. Now this becomes a growth story because everything is at a peak in terms of performance, while the price has also run up. While the price has also run up, so price run up, you can check it over here below profit and loss. There is a summary. So you can see this year it has run up by around 79%. For 3 years, the CAGR is running at 70%. So this is a very aggressively growing business that leads to your valuation becoming high. But the good part is that this is sustainable till the ride is on, and that is where your approach becomes trail this with a good stop loss. And this is how basically you have to think. You'll have to think techno funda. You'll have to look at technicals for finding the right entry, and on the fundamentals, that is what I am telling you. You can look at either the valuation based approach, or you can look at the performance, earning performance growth based approach. So that is how you can really pick up the stocks and start working on it. Now, in terms of timing, at the right time, you can take a approach of picking the stock at the bottom or picking the stop at the breakouts. So if you're a momentum player, you will typically try to work stocks at breakout. This can be 52-week breakout. This can be all-time high breakout. Okay. While bottom is typically where you will try to look at your RSI getting oversold. Those kinds of zones are basically the ones where you can pick it up. So this is what very this question needs a big answer, but this is what is the summarized way that you can start looking at it. Try to look at your problem statement that if I really want to trade into a stock, I'll have to think about 5 things. And out of that, I have answered for you. Try to picking up them at the right stock and then entering at the right time. As far as the exit goes, you can typically take exit whenever a particular trend line breaks. Yeah, keep just observing the stock onto the chart. Like if I take today Apar Industries, okay. Now, if you go to its 3 years weekly chart, you will find that it has gone through a strong rally, right? So it has gone through a strong rally. So simply what you have to do is that just pick up and draw a channel over here. Okay. So you are touching all the mainly three bottoms you should touch along the way. Till the time your stock survives above this line, you are in the game. This is the kind of approach you can do to hold on to it. Then you can use certain indicators like here currently I've plotted this commodity channel index. A very good exit for you will be that whenever it goes below zero, take an exit, simple as it is. The moment it goes below zero, you can plan for an exit. So this is one of the exit way that I've shared over here for you. So you can have a complete cycle. You can enter the stock, you can exit it, and this is how you can pick up the stocks for trades. Right, Arun? So trying to be as quick as possible in whatever time I was left with. But definitely stay in touch in case you have more questions. Now, how to be staying constantly motivated in swing trading? Uh, this is something which comes around to the psychology. So whenever it comes to investing and keeping your morale high, remember that how you have to really look at market when it comes to psychology point of view is you'll have to first think about market in terms of probabilities. Okay, you'll have to look at market in terms of probabilities. You're not going to win all. You're never going to win all. You will be, you should be winning most of the time, but there is nothing that should stop you from winning most of the time. If your strategy is not winning most of the time, then I would tell you that question your strategy. Are you doing the right thing? I don't know what is the strategy you are using for swing, but I overview if it is not giving me a good hit rate itself, I will try to skip it. I'll try to improve on it. But most of the time, you should be winning. Second, lose lesser number of times. This is very, very important. You know, you just cannot keep yourself motivated while doing something which is useless. I would never allow you to work on something which is not at all working out. So, for the sake of motivation, there's no point working on something which is not working in itself. So, critically analyze how things are going for you in the market. You are not going to win all times, that I agree, but you should be winning most of the time. If you are not winning most of the time, question your strategy. You should be losing less. If this is also not happening, question your strategy. Now, if all things are good, if you are able to win most of the time and you are losing less, simply put, what you have to do is that you have to stretch your winners. This is very, very important. One thing which I don't like in swing trading is that you exit at a target. Now, this is something which I actually don't like, and that's why I'm a big follower of trend and momentum because in these I don't keep any targets. Okay, typically I just ride the trend. So that what happens many times we actually end up exiting a stock which is actually still going to run far ahead. But just because we have this psyche that there is a resistance, I have to exit, I exit. But the stock, if your strategies are good, if your fundamentals are great, it tends to break out that resistance. And then you regret why I came out of that swing. So I would suggest just first thing, look at your strategy. Are you winning most of the time? Are you losing less? If not, then please rewind, revise, improve on your swing strategies. And if you are falling well, that you are winning most of the time, look at your discipline. Make sure that you are stretching your winners and you're exiting and following your stop losses quickly. Okay. And most important thing, again, do rules based trading or do rules based investing. Whatever happen, do a rules based approach, because with the rules, what happen, you can control your psychology. Exit आ गया, we just exit, we follow the orders, no emotional haggles at that time. So try to develop a strategy which is rules based, try to develop a strategy which is actually running at a higher hit rate. And when you win, stretch the winners. When you lose, exit quickly. Keep a good win to lose ratio and keep a good kind of a runaway distances. Whenever you win, cut short quickly whenever you lose. That is how you will be able to really get a good performance. And then to motivate yourself, I think it is sheer that you will have to be determined to really make money out of the market. You have to build up that hunger in you, that you are here to succeed, you are here to win. And there are many people who are winning actually. So don't really look at what people are saying other than options FNO. Other places people are winning in a good way. So you have to believe in yourself and try to develop rules based systems and follow them strictly so that you're not emotionally haggled. My challenges in the market were till the time I was not doing rules based stuff. I just felt that this fundamental is good, I'll enter. And when I feel that it is going slow, the feeling based stuff actually creates a lot of emotional disturbances, and that is where you lose your control. So to keep yourself motivated, stay on rules based approach, look at it in a game of probability, develop yourself, look at your strategy, look at your results, look at the way you are behaving in the market as a third person, and try to figure out where you can improve. So if you really focus on excellence, I believe these failures will not bother you. It is just that you have to become better and start beating the market. So focus on that. That is what I would suggest in terms of motivating yourself. Hope that answers your question, right? So you have done turtle class, but now class has expired. I would like to know the way to select stocks on BSE, as charting scanners do not do it. So to select the stocks on BSE, in the free channels, that you can go through my Senko or Samco video around the Papa scan. Now that is something which will give you scanners which are working out of the screener.in, and from there you can get the BSC stocks also that you are working on it. Specifically, if you want to really have a very strong scanners, then you can join my the Turtle Club program, because that is where I am working with some students around developing scanners for breakouts, scanners for kind of trend following strategies using the screener.in. So that is where you can get those scanners. Otherwise, the best clue that you can work on any strategy on screener.in is just in your filter, in your results, keep a watch on RSI. Any screener that you take, like I'll take the screener for Papa scan over here. Okay. So this is the Papa scan watch list. So simply, if this is my scanner, I'm going to watch at my RSI, sort this RSI, right? Simply put, try to look at RSIs which are there between 60 to 70. 60 to 70 is something where you can get stocks which are at a good setup. So like, just look at this, what I've done over here. I'm having RSI, or maybe I'll just put up that condition also over here, and my RSI, okay, is greater than say 60 and RSI is less than 74, right? Now I'm getting those set of stocks which are actually in that mode where they might be warming up or they would have retraced back. So this is where then you can pick up the stocks which might be at a good setup. So like, let's look at it over here. RPG, I know it has run up. Grower and wheel. This is a good setup. So if you go to grower and wheel and look at its chart, you can clearly see there is a breakout that has happened, right? So the simplest clue that I can give you is that in your screener, wherever you are working, try to spot stocks between RSI 62, RSI 73, 74, and then you can just plot onto their charts. Get onto their charts, you will start seeing, but these are all going to be on the daily basis, because their RSI is daily. They don't have any weekly RSI and all that. So unfortunately, you cannot pick up the charts which are running strong on weekly. But yes, you can. Okay, their problem grower and wheel over here is not getting plotted correctly. So let me take you to the trading view. So anybody, any guys, if any further question, just plot it up over there in the chat group. I'll try to answer from there. Yeah. So this grower and wheel, I don't know how, but its data which is there in the charting is corrupted. So that's why I have come over here. Grower and wheel. Okay. So again, this data is NSE. This is again, I'll have to pick up the BSE one. Now I'm getting the charting is looking at NSE. So here you can observe grower and wheel. It is a breakout, right? You can observe over here. It is a breakout. So you can observe over here. This is the breakout that has happened. And then you can plot all your plans, which is there for actually planning the breakout. So this was its resistance, which was broken. So this is how you can keep on watching and observe the RSI in these moments. They are definitely between 60 to 75. So if you keep watching them regularly, you will spot these breakouts which are coming out of the screener.in, right? Let me look out anything else which is fundamentally good and might be at a breakout. Yeah, I think electrocasting is the another one. So let's look at electrocasting. The charting in screener.in is quite limited. So at least you can visually see there's a resistance which was retested and it has moved up and not far off, right? So I'll just go to electrocast. Now this I can get in charting, forecasting, right? So here you can see we have a breakout, then a breakout retest kind of. Yeah, over here, I think the whole consolidation breakout has happened from this point onwards over here. So it is literally sitting on a breakout as such. Earlier breakouts, it has gone through, it has here, you can see the earlier breakout was here at this spot, this breakout, bit of failure, retesting, and again it has moved up. So looks good. So this is something that you can look at. Even the CCI going above 100 is a sign that it is in the momentum. So this is how you can really look at screener.in and try to filter up uh, the BSE stocks. Okay. Intraday trading, insights about intraday trading. Intraday trading, guys, I will tell you that in case you are a working professional, first thing, avoid it. Secondly, if you are not an intraday, if you're not somebody who is working professionally and you still have time and you want to do intraday, first thing first, I'll tell you, it is not that straightforward as you would do it on a daily time frame. द रीजन बीइंग, ये जो इंट्राडे में काम चलता है वो एक एक कैंडल के ऊपर एक थोड़ा थोड़ा वॉल्यूम लगता है. एक दिन के कैंडल पे बहुत वॉल्यूम आता है, बहुत दिनों का, बहुत लोगों का वोटिंग होता है. सो द साइकोलॉजिकल बिहेवियर इज प्रेडिक्टेबल वहां पे, क्योंकि काफी लोगों का इनपुट्स आ रहा है. जब आप इंट्राडे करते हैं ना, एक एक कैंडल पे थोड़ा थोड़ा वॉल्यूम्स पे लोग काम कर रहे हैं, तो कोई भी आकर के उसको मैनिपुलेट कर सकता है. तो मैं तो टिपिकली, मैंने खुद भी जितना इंट्राडे ट्रेडिंग ट्राई किया है, आई फाउंड दैट इट इज मोर रिस्कियर बिकॉज टेक्निकल स्टफ टेंड्स टू फेल देयर बिकॉज ऑफ अ वॉल्यूम इम्पैक्ट. एक कैंडल पे थोड़ा थोड़ा वॉल्यूम आता है और एक कैंडल पे किसी ने बहुत बड़ी क्वांटिटी में ले लिया, तो आपका भले ही वहां पे पैटर्न बन रहा हो, एक झटके में वो पैटर्न ब्रेक आउट हो जाता है. तो अगर इंट्राडे में आप करना है काम आपको, तो मैं आपको सिंपल सा अप्रोच बताऊंगा. डाउन द लाइन आई विल ट्राई टू प्रिपेयर एनी particular kind of a video or a program around it. But if you are really working on intraday basis, I would typically say try to follow the trend following methodology using your super trend indicators. तो सुपर ट्रेंड इंडिकेटर्स ज्यादा करके आप अटेम्प्ट कीजिएगा इंट्राडे में. मूविंग एवरेज से ज्यादा मैंने देखा है सुपर ट्रेंड इंडिकेटर, वीवैप और आरएसआई का कॉम्बिनेशन ये कहीं पे अच्छे से चल जाता है टिपिकली. सुपर ट्रेंड इंडिकेटर आप ट्राई करिएगा तो आपको अच्छे से रिजल्ट दिखेगा. मैं पर्सनली इंट्राडे नहीं करता हूँ, क्योंकि मुझे चैलेंज वहां पे यही दिखता है कि कोई भी आकर के किसी भी अच्छे पैटर्न को 1 मिनट में बिगाड़ देता है. और मोर सो अगर वो स्टॉक एफएनओ में है, क्योंकि लोगों के ऑप्शंस में भी पैसे लगे होते हैं, लोगों के फ्यूचर्स में भी पैसे लगे हुए हैं, दे ट्राई टू मैनिपुलेट थिंग्स. सो एज फार एज पॉसिबल आई वुड टेल यू दैट मूव अवे फ्रॉम इंट्राडे. Come on, come out. Come out onto the side of at least daily charts, क्योंकि वहां पे कुछ तो भी अच्छे से प्रेडिक्टेबिलिटी मुझे मिलती है. आप शायद आपको भी वो एक्सपीरियंस आ जाएगा, तो ट्राई टू डू दैट. इंट्राडे में इफ यू वांट एट दिस स्पॉट, इफ आई टेल यू समथिंग यू शुड वर्क अपॉन, definitely I'll tell you that try the super trend methodology. I'll try to build up some kind of a video around it, super trend, then some approach which is there around your Bollinger Band. I'll try to come up with something, but as of now I would say try to use super trend. और super trend में भी कैसा यूज करना है, एक सिंपल सा प्लॉट मैं आपको बता देता हूँ. यू कैन ट्राई इट आउट ऑन योर स्टॉक्स वेर एवर यू आर वर्किंग. इवन इट वर्क्स इन ऑप्शंस फॉर दैट मैटर. So you have to clearly take an intraday chart. So let's take a bank nifty intraday chart for 1 day 5 minute. ठीक है, 1 day 5 minute का आपको लेना है, एंड देन यू प्लॉट इट ओवर हियर द बैंक निफ्टी. ओके, this is just a quick one that I'm sharing with you. And now what you have to do is that you can very well see it is locked up in a sideways zone, and that is where I don't get a trending moves. तो इंट्राडे काफी हद तक चैलेंजिंग सा हो जाता है. बट यहाँ पे अगर आप देखेंगे, आप अगर सुपर ट्रेंड यूज करते हैं, अपर ओवरलेज में जाकर के सुपर ट्रेंड आप यूज करिएगा, 10-3 यूज करिए. राइट, तो 10-3 आपको सीधा बता रहा है कि आपको अभी यहाँ पे काम करना है बेरिश की तरफ. सो सिंपली जब भी यहाँ पे ये लाइन टच हो जाएगी, आपको ऑर्डर यहीं पे रखनी है, सेल साइड की ऑर्डर रखिएगा. ये नीचे गया तो कंटिन्यू विथ इट. और कहाँ पे आपके स्टॉप लॉसेस लगाने हैं, तो यहाँ पे हम ओवरराइट नहीं कर सकते, बट जीरोधा में आप कर पाएंगे. दो सुपर ट्रेंड एक साथ लगा सकते हैं. तो 10-1 पे मैं मेरा अगला सुपर ट्रेंड लगा दूंगा. तो 10-1 पे क्या होगा, मुझे पता चलेगा कि जैसे मैंने यहाँ पे लिया, सेल किया था, राइट. आपको याद होगा यहाँ पे मैंने 10-3 के कारण सेल किया था. 10-1 के कारण क्या होगा, जैसे ही ये यहाँ पे इसके ऊपर आ गया, मैं इसमें से निकल जाऊंगा. तो यहाँ पे मुझे थोड़ा सा गेन हुआ है, लॉस नहीं हुआ है. बट अगर मैं ट्रेंडिंग मूव्स खेलूंगा ना, अगर मुझे ट्रेंडिंग मूव्स आ जाती है, this definitely gives a good return. Like on that day, I think Nifty IT was something which gave a trending move, right? तो निफ्टी आईटी पे यही चीज मैं आपको दिखाता हूँ. ठीक है, तो हम जाएंगे हमारा सुपर ओ 10-3 में जाएंगे, सुपर ट्रेंड. ओके, सो वी आर वेटिंग नाउ. दिस इज द पॉइंट वेयर 10-3 वाज टच्ड. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे मैंने सेल कर दिया, 10-3 पे मैंने सेल कर दिया. चाहिए तो मैं 10-3 के ऊपर आने तक सेल ऑर्डर कर रख सकता हूँ, लेकिन अगर मुझे जल्दी कुछ प्रॉफिट कमाना है, तो व्हाट आई कैन डू, आई कैन मूव टू 10-1 फॉर ट्रेलिंग माय स्टॉप लॉस. तो 10-3 पे मैंने सेल किया था, ये कंटिन्यू हुआ, कंटिन्यू हुआ, कंटिन्यू हुआ. यहाँ पे जाकर के मैं बुक आउट कर दूंगा 10-1. सो सिंपली दैट इज वेयर यू कैन डू ओवर हियर. एक सिंपल सा स्ट्रेटेजी मैंने आपको बताया है, आप खुद ऑब्जर्व करिएगा. 10-3 को मॉनिटर करिएगा फॉर योर एंट्री पॉइंट्स. कभी ना कभी उसको टच करेगा, वहां पे ले लीजिए. छोड़ना कब है, जब भी रिवर्सल आपको 10-1 पे दिख जाएगा. ट्राई दिस अप्रोच. दिस वुड वर्क, दिस वर्क्स टिपिकली. बट मैं फिर भी कहूंगा कि ये, इन चीजों में आपको अफरा तफरी बहुत दिखेगी इंट्राडे में. पीपल ट्राई टू मैनिपुलेट अ लॉट. So this one simple approach I can tell you which you can try. This is very much a trend following approach, by the way. Okay, that was intraday that I can tell you. Okay, now if one is looking to invest 75 lakhs for long term, what is the best way to approach this? इज एमएफ अ पॉसिबल सॉल्यूशन और शुड बी चेरी पिक? जब आपका 75 lakhs का पोर्टफोलियो हो जाता है ना, इट ऑल कम्स टू योर साइकोलॉजी. Typically, in your portfolio, you are going to keep around 20, 25 stocks. So, are you somebody who can punch in an order of 5 lakhs and then monitor it for a 4-5% swing in a day? आप उस साइकोलॉजी को झेल सकते हैं कि नहीं, वो आपको सोचना होगा. अगर आप झेल नहीं सकते हैं तो मैं आपको टिपिकली कहूंगा कि यू कैन लुक इनटू एमएफ, और उससे भी ज्यादा मैं प्रेफर करता हूँ ईटीएफ. ईटीएफ में इसलिए प्रेफर करता हूँ क्योंकि इलेक्ट्रॉनिक ट्रेडेड फंड में जैसे म्यूचुअल फंड होता है वैसा इट इज रिप्लिकेटिंग अ पोर्टफोलियो. तो आपको एक लो बीटा सॉल्यूशन मिलता है, यानी एक दिन में वो ज्यादा से ज्यादा 1-2% तक का ही मूव देगा. कभी भी 4% गिरा है, 5% गिरा है, ऐसा नहीं होगा. तो इसमें लो बीटा आएगा, दैट इज लो वोलेटिलिटी, तो आपका हार्ट बीट कम होगा. यू विल बी एबल टू स्टे रिलैक्स्ड इन द मार्केट, बट इट गिव्स गुड ट्रेंडिंग मूव्स. आपको ट्रेंड पकड़ना आना चाहिए. इट गिव्स गुड ट्रेंडिंग मूव्स, ये मैंने देखा है इन केस ऑफ ईटीएफ्स. व्हाई आई प्रेफर ईटीएफ्स इज बिकॉज ईटीएफ्स आर हैविंग चार्ट्स, सो आई कैन पिक अप देयर ट्रेंडिंग मूव्स वेरी वेरी वेल. तो इसलिए अगर आपके पास बड़ा है अमाउंट एंड यू वांट टू डू इट लॉन्ग टर्म, आई वुड सजेस्ट गो फॉर द ईटीएफ अप्रोच. म्यूचुअल फंड मैं इसलिए नहीं बोलता हूँ क्योंकि म्यूचुअल फंड का चार्ट नहीं होता है. दूसरी बात है, मैंने आज बेचा तो मेरे को कुछ अलग प्राइस मिलता है अगले दिन तक, और उनके मैनेजमेंट फीस भी ज्यादा है. तो समवेयर आई फील दैट आई एम नॉट दैट मच इन कंट्रोल ऑफ माई इन्वेस्टमेंट, सो दैट्स व्हाई आई डोंट गो फॉर म्यूचुअल फंड्स. If you want to go to mutual funds, learn trend following strategy. Look at that particular index when it is coming in trend and go and buy its mutual fund. Otherwise, look at that particular index whenever it is coming in trend, go and buy its ETF. So SIP की जगह पे मैं लोगों को बोलता हूँ you should do timed investment plan. यू शुड हैव अ टाइमिंग प्लान ओवर देयर. एसआईपी से ज्यादा मैं बोलूंगा आपको टाइमिंग इन्वेस्टमेंट प्लान से ज्यादा बेनिफिट होगा. एक सिंपल सा एग्जांपल मैं आपको देता हूँ. इफ आई एम गोइंग टू लुक एट दिस ईटीएफ, से 3 साल का ईटीएफ ले लेते हैं, डेली चार्ट ले लेते हैं, और एक हम ले लेते हैं एक अराउंड 100 MA का एवरेज मूविंग एवरेज, ठीक है. और मैंने इंडेक्स ले लिया CNX IT. ठीक है, अभी मैं आपको एक टाइम्ड ईटीएफ का अप्रोच बताता हूँ या म्यूचुअल फंड का अप्रोच बताता हूँ. आपको क्या करना है कि जब भी आपका दिस इज समथिंग वेयर, जब भी आपका सपोज यहाँ पे 100 MA के ऊपर जब कभी भी आपका ईटीएफ आता है या म्यूचुअल फंड आता है, यू कैन रेप्लिकेट इट ऑन एनी म्यूचुअल फंड. लाइक इफ इट इज इन आईटी देन टिपिकली टाटा का म्यूचुअल फंड है सॉफ्टवेयर का, आई थिंक that one works well. So anyway, what you have to do is that during these months that you are below 100 MA, है ना, during these months below your 100 MA, आप क्या करिएगा, keep money in cash. Keep money in cash, or you can buy a liquid ETF, right? और जब भी ये 100 MA के ऊपर आ जाए तो इस महीने जितना इन महीनों में आपने जमाया था ना पैसा, उसको इस पॉइंट पे डिप्लॉय कर दीजिए. उसको ये 3 महीने का इस पॉइंट पे डिप्लॉय कर दीजिए, राइट. और फिर यहाँ से यहाँ तक का आपने इस पॉइंट पे डिप्लॉय करना है. यानी जिस जिस पीरियड में आप ऊपर जा रहे हो आप कुछ मत डिप्लॉय करो. जब भी इसको टच करके ऊपर जाता है ना, आप डिप्लॉय कर दो. जब भी इसको टच करके ऊपर जाता है ना, आपने डिप्लॉय कर देना है. सो यू विल फाइंड दैट देयर इज अ एफिशिएंसी इन योर investing. You are able to invest only and only when it crosses the 100 moving average. So this is how something that you can do. This is a kind of a tip I tell you. This is a tip, timed investment planning. So do it this way. This is how I used to do when I was working in my professional life. So yes, if your capital is big, psychologically you cannot handle, come out and start working with mutual funds or ETF. You can definitely look at my bottom fishing program. There I've discussed more specific. What is my strategy for exits? Typically, I take trend based exits. I look for whenever the trend lines are broken or any particular moving averages are broken, I plan my exit. Sometimes I sell in strength only, also depending on what events have happened, right? Morpen Labs, it has given a multi-year breakout. So let's look at Morpen Lab. Okay. Morpen Lab, if I go weekly, Morpen Lab, since it is a, you are saying it is a long-term breakout, we'll look it onto the, yeah. So you can observe over here, I'll have to remove my overlays. The super trend is gone. Yeah. So this is where you can observe इसने breakout तो दे दिया है, but my challenge is that it is overheated now. Now this is not a point where I would typically enter into Morpen Lab. Huh? I would not enter into Morpen Lab now because this RSI is quite heated. The weekly RSI itself 74 is quite hot. So I would be skipping this breakout because it is quite late for me to catch up with. Okay. Okay. Then exit strategy on result day. Should we exit before quarterly result day? Is it possible to guess quarterly results seeing chart? Of course, if your stock is running, catching up the heat, is still trending at the time of a result, I would typically hold it. ऑफ कोर्स नया एंट्री लेने से पहले अगर अगले 10 दिन में स्टॉक का रिजल्ट आने वाला है देन आई विल स्टॉप ओके इफ द रिजल्ट इज नियर आई विल अवॉइड फ्रेश एंट्री बट इफ आई एम राइडिंग अ स्टॉक इट इज स्टिल ट्रेंडिंग वेल देन आई विल होल्ड इट थ्रू द रिजल्ट्स बट इफ आई हैव अ सेंस ऑफ डाउट दैट ये कुछ हैंकी पैंकी हो सकता है that time what I do is that I book out partially and stay aside, look at the result reaction, then add on. Okay. Now, should I exit before the results? Only if the trend line breaks, because that is what I will wait for. I will risk myself for following my rule. क्योंकि जैसे ही सब्जेक्टिविटी लाते हैं ना हम लोग, ये रिजल्ट आ रहा है तो ऐसा करो, वो आएगा तो वैसा करो, देन it becomes an emotional ball game and too much to monitor. Investing becomes tiring business and you start losing your grip. So better simple thing, if you're getting into the result, you're holding the stock, it is trending well, please hold it. If you see there is a doubt in your mind, book out 50%. And if you're taking a new entry and result is within 10 days, avoid that entry. It is better. Maybe put some alert to remind you next time. That is what you can do. Okay. How to pick stocks for trade, I've already discussed. So if you're looking for scanners, then you should look for my Senko programs. In Senko, I have given a bull strategy program. So that is one of the open source strategy that I have shared on the YouTube. So Bulls channel strategy is something that you can look for planning your entry exits, and for daily you can pick up from their exits also. Weekly also you can try for it, and definitely ये जो आपका outlook है ना, I should get a monthly and weekly return of 5 to 10% on a capital. Market is a cyclical business. यू कैनॉट गेट हर महीने 5%, हर हफ्ते 10%, ऐसा रिटर्न नहीं आता है मार्केट में. मार्केट इज वेरी मच अ साइक्लिकल थिंग, सीजनल थिंग. So I would suggest if you are somebody who is looking for a salary kind of a return from the market, market is not for you. Markets are is having its own sense of I would say rhythm. So in those rhythms, you need to run. When it runs up, run with it, make money. When it goes down, shut your shop. If you're not good at selling, shut your shop. It is okay. बट ये जो आप बोल रहे हैं ना 5 और 10% मुझे रेगुलरली लेना है, तो ये गलत अप्रोच है. मत आइएगा मार्केट में, आई वुड सजेस्ट. ओके. नाउ हाउ टू स्पॉट फैक ब्रेकआउट्स एंड फंडामेंटल. एब्सोल्युटली. फेक ब्रेकआउट्स कैसा रहता है? Frankly, you cannot say in advance that this is going to be a fake breakout. Okay. What you can avoid are, जैसे मैंने अभी मोरपेन लैब में किया है, you can avoid stretched breakouts. Number one चीज. So what you can avoid, I can tell you. Faking कैसे होता है कि जब stretched होता है स्टॉक, जैसे फ्लैग ब्रेकआउट्स टिपिकली बहुत बार फेक होते हैं. So stretch breakouts are something which have high failure rate. Then cyclical businesses, they have a high breakout failure rate. जैसे ये जो होते हैं ना हमारे मेटल्स वगैरह, कमोडिटीज, कॉफी, राइस, शुगर, इनमें आपको फेलियर रेट दिखेगा. इवन सीजनल जो है, जैसे फर्टिलाइजर्स वगैरह हैं, इनमें आपको स्पाइक दिखता है. गवर्नमेंट के न्यूज बेस्ड जो आइटम्स आते हैं ना, सो इवन न्यूज बेस्ड जो है, यहाँ पे आपको ब्रेकआउट फेलियर्स दिखेगा. सो पीपल से दैट फेक ब्रेकआउट नाम का चीज नहीं होता है, ब्रेकआउट फेलियर्स होते हैं. ये फेक ब्रेकआउट का फंडा किसी ने ऐसे डाल दिया जैसा कोई वहां पे खड़ा है आपको फंसाने के लिए। ऐसा मार्केट में कोई खड़ा नहीं होता है, सब पैसे बनाने के लिए आते हैं। अब आपको उन सिनारियों में से बचना है जहां पे कोई कन्विक्शन नहीं है। ऐसे कौन से ब्रेकआउट है जहां पे कन्विक्शन नहीं है? स्ट्रेच ब्रेकआउट्स में कन्विक्शन नहीं है, क्योंकि जैसे फ्लैग ब्रेकआउट होता है ना, तो लोगों का पहले ही पैसा बन गया है। यहां से यहां तक की रैली में पहले ही पैसा बन गया, तो इस ब्रेकआउट में आ जाएंगे वो बुक करने। तो ये फेक नहीं है, ये ब्रेकआउट फेलियर है, नेचुरल साइकोलॉजी। साइक्लिक बिजनेसेस में क्या होता है, कल कॉफी के बारे में कुछ न्यूज आ गई, चिली में ऐसा हो रहा है, शुगर के बारे में कुछ न्यूज आ गई, ब्राजील में वैसा हो रहा है, तो न्यूज बेस्ड एक स्पाइक आ जाता है। अब इसके कारण इसके अंदर जो घुसते हैं वो रिटेलर और सटोरिया होते हैं। दे आर लुकिंग फॉर अ क्विक मनी, उनको कोई फंडामेंटल स्टोरी के साथ चलना नहीं है 2-3 महीने। तो ये लोग तो बोरिया बिस्तर निपटने में माहिर रहते हैं। दिस इज व्हाट कॉजेज द फेलियर्स ऑफ ब्रेकआउट। तो ये फेकिंग नहीं कर रहा है वो बंदा, फेलियर हो रहा है नेचुरली बिकॉज देर इज नो कन्विक्शन, नो फंडामेंटल्स टू सपोर्ट दिस, राइट? सेम थिंग इज अबाउट सीजनल न्यूज बेस्ड आइटम्स। तो दिस इज वेयर द फेलियर्स कम, ओके? फेकिंग आउट ऐसा नहीं होता है, फेलियर्स वहां पे आते हैं जहां पे स्ट्रेच्ड हो आप, जहाँ पे साइक्लिकल बिजनेसेस है, जहाँ पे सीजनल बिजनेसेस है, जहाँ पे न्यूज बेस्ड एक्टिविटी चल रही है। और एक आपको बता देता हूँ जहाँ पे फंडामेंटल्स खराब है। तो फंडामेंटल्स बेसिकली ब्रेकआउट्स के टाइप पे आप देखिएगा ग्रोथ कैसा है। अगर ग्रोथ नहीं है अर्निंग्स में, तो मे बी पीपल आर ट्राइंग टू रन इट इन एडवांस, विच आई एम नॉट गुड एट स्पॉटिंग, सो आई डू नॉट typically वर्क ऑन दोस, बट आई ट्राई टू स्टिक with where the earnings are coming up steadily. So I, that is where I avoid the breakout failures. ओके? ऐसा कोई, ऐसा मत समझना कि मार्केट में कोई आपको लेंस से देख रहा है, आपने कैसा कहाँ पे पैसा डाला है। ओके ओके, नाउ लेट्स लुक एट, ओके, SME stocks, I'm not good at SME stocks. I do not work with them. Main reasons, there is a lot of regulation things and there is a lot of narratives that are being run. So I'm not comfortable working with SME stocks. Again, जैसा इंट्राडे में होता है वैसा SMEs में होता है। थोड़ा भी वॉल्यूम यहाँ पे आप मैनिपुलेट कर सकते हो, तो आई टिपिकली अवॉइड SME स्टॉक्स। SME स्टॉक्स एक्साइटमेंट्स के लिए खेलना बहुत आसान है। मैं आकर के ट्विटर पे एक बड़ा हिट बन जाऊंगा अगर मैं एसएमई स्टॉक्स के बारे में बोलता रहूंगा। एंड you can manipulate people easily, and that manipulation can make you look good in SME stocks. But personally I'm not comfortable working in SME stocks because everything needs a lot of around 3 lakhs or something, which is quite a big amount, and I'm not psychologically comfortable with it, so I don't do it. एंड सेकेंडली, एज आई टोल्ड यू, दे आर वोलाटाइल क्योंकि थोड़े भी लोग घुस गए तो दौड़ पड़ता है, थोड़े भी लोग निकले तो गिर पड़ता है। तो नॉट माई काइंड ऑफ अ स्टॉक, सो आई रियली डोंट वर्क इन टू देम। बट इफ यू वॉन्ट टू वर्क इन टू SME stocks, definitely you'll have to look at the fundamentals. If the growth is there, you can try working on them, but you'll have to develop your psychology to handle that volatility. और जो आप सीरियसली नहीं हैंडल कर सकते हैं मत करिए। इवन आई डोंट डू इट। ओके, राइट। कृष्णा डायग्नोस्टिक्स, आई थिंक सेटअप वाज गुड। लेट मी लुक एट exits on volatile days. Let it be election day, let it be budget day. If exits come, no, I exit, frankly. उस दिन लोगों को लगता है कि पैनिक में एग्जिट कर रहे हो वगैरह वगैरह, आफ्टर थॉट में हम जाके बोल सकते हैं, ज्ञान दे सकते हैं कि नहीं करना चाहिए था उस दिन। बट फ्रैंकली लकीर की फकीर बने रही है, if your system is saying an exit, don't bother whether it is due to budget or due to election. Just take the exit. That is all comfortable. And when you are exiting and you have a doubt that this can bounce back, तो जहां पे आपको लगता है, एक अलर्ट डाल दीजिए कि फिर इस प्राइस लेवल पे आ गया तो फिर खरीद लूंगा। ऐसा प्ले करिए। बट फॉर दैट डे, फॉलो द रूल, एग्जिट। बट इफ यू आर इंटरेस्टेड लुकिंग एट फंडामेंटल्स की शायद ये बाउंस बैक कर जाएगा, पुट योर अलर्ट सो दैट नेक्स्ट रिवर्सल यू विल बी बैक इन टू इट। It's more comfortable. That is what I have seen, because the first moment it looks like a panic, but the next day it can be a genuine fall if you look back at. तो जैसा कोविड में हुआ था, पहले 1-2 दिन तो पैनिक ही लगा, बट जब वो गिरा तब पता चला अरे ये तो जेन्युइन फॉल चल रहा है। सो जस्ट फॉलो योर रूल्स, आई वुड टेल यू। इफ यू आर स्टिल कन्विंस्ड अबाउट द स्टॉक, कीप योर अलर्ट फॉर द नेक्स्ट प्राइस लेवल, कि रिबाउंड हो जाएगा तो फिर आ जाना, दैट्स ओके। एंड मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम यू विल फाइंड दैट वर्क्स बेटर आइदर वेज। अगर निकलते गया नीचे तो फायदे में हूं ही, और वापस भी आ गया तो मैंने राइड ले लिया है, सो आई हैव नॉट मिस्ड मच. ओके. Don't regret. No, I've told you, for avoiding regret, put an alert there and jump in. Jump in. If you are so convinced about the story, jump in. Become a part of it. Be shameless and ruthless in the market. बी शेमलेस एंड रुथलेस इन द मार्केट. बेशरम हो जाओ, स्टॉक वापस बाउंस हो गया, आ जाओ ना, फंडामेंटल अच्छा है, कन्विंस स्टोरी इज देयर, इट्स ओके, आई एम कमिंग बैक, आई एम शेमलेस. कौन में, इट इज नॉट योर पर्सनल रिलेशनशिप दैट ओ यू हैव कम बैक. इट्स नॉट लाइक योर जॉब दैट आई एम टेकिंग बैक माई रेजिग्नेशन. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है मार्केट में. जस्ट डू इट मैन, इट्स ओके. पुट योर अलर्ट, you should be fine. Okay. Senko strategy is, I think somebody has put up the link. So it is there. I'll again put it on my Twitter handle. Okay, as I go through it. So this was around Bulls channel strategy. So it has got a complete dashboard and all that. So through that we work on it. So that is it. Don't see any further questions from you guys over here. Okay, we have to look at Krishna Diagnostics. So let's look at it, Techno and Funda both. Krishna Diagnostic. Okay. So how is the business looking? So yeah, annual profit growth, there is a slump. Okay, now this is something which might distract you, but this can give an opportunity that things might have gone wrong temporarily, so it can come back. But if you look at it, ROC is low, margins are good, and recent quarter, how is the performance? So recent quarter also there is a dip, YOY there is a rise. So fundamentally I am really on the edge over here, guys, because your valuations are high, your earnings have just uh, gone down in the recent quarter. YOY you are okay. So fundamentally I would say that I would typically avoid this kind of a thing, because somewhere the story is, if I look at quarterly wise, we are going strong. Yeah, quarterly wise, we are going strong. So why the earnings drop down is mainly because of the taxation. So okay, EBITDA is also fine. So it's very much a steady, maybe the performance is making a kind of a new base to come up, and stock is rising about PE. So first of all, this is not any exciting situation, neither value-wise nor the growth-wise. So I would suggest, only if you're a long-term investor, try to get into this stock. For 3 years, if you see, it is very much recovering from the bottom. So there will be selling pressure ahead. So I would avoid this stock for now, because I don't see that growth that looks exciting and convincing for this kind of a reversal to come up. So for now, I'll kind of sit on the sidelines for Krishna Diagnostic. Okay. Anything else that we have? Okay. I think we are pretty much done for today. So I'll just wrap up, and I'll upload this onto the YouTube once the processing is done. And we'll try to connect again next week around sometime if I get a chance. And maybe I'll just unmute all of you guys, because I think this time we are not having any bully amongst us. So if verbally also you guys want to ask any questions, maybe you can start. Okay. So now you can unmute yourself, by the way, guys. So if you have any question that you are not maybe lazy enough to type, verbally you want to ask, please go ahead. You can unmute yourself and put up your query. Okay.
या हेलो सर,
हाँ भैया,
निशांत है।
या बोलिए.
हाँ सर, एक बार आप ये फंडामेंटल वाला फिर से हमको दिखाएंगे क्या? उसमें कौन कौन सा पैरामीटर हमको कंसीडर करना रहेगा?
तो फंडामेंटल्स के पैरामीटर्स अगर आपको कंसिडर करना रहेगा, तो आपको
हम्म।
टिपिकली, आई शो यू वन ऑफ द ट्रायल क्वेरीज दैट आई हैव डन इन दिस स्कैन, विच इज द पेट्रोस्की स्कोर बेस्ड स्कैन. ओके. सो
ओके।
इसका डिटेल्ड अप्रोच है. यू कैन लुक इनटू द वीडियो विद सैमको. ओके. सैमको एड्रेस, SAMCO. Okay. So if you go
ओके।
look at my videos on the Samco channel, I'll
हम्म।
just give you the clue about its. Give me a minute. Yep. So on the Samco, if you go, right. On the Samco, this is this episode number 109. That is where you can look at into the fundamentals. SAMCO, Samco Securities Channel. Look at the episode number 109 and 110. So that is where you'll
Okay.
get approach. That is where you'll get my approach around making this fundamental scanner, which I have shown over here. Okay. Typically, what you are going to look for is that the company should be at a low debt. Okay. If you look at the businesses like your Kingfisher, Yes Bank, uh, they all, or the whole Anil Ambani group, right? They all literally got wiped off due to the heavy debt. So try to look for debt to equity, which is should be less than one. That is what I would suggest. This is critical. Then look for your return ratios like ROC. Typically, when I work with manufacturing and services company, your ROCs should be greater than 15. If you're working with banks and all that, then try to look for ROC greater than 8. Okay. RO not ROC, ROE. So make a rule that for manufacturing services, don't check ROE, check ROC only. For banking NBFCs, look for ROE. So this gives you good return ratios. And further on, you can put this criteria that Petrosky score is greater than 7 because it covers a lot of asset turnover clauses, even the company's, even the strength of balance sheets, cash flow, all these things are covered in this one clause itself, right? Profit growth should be greater than 15%. Your OPMs should be greater than 15. So this is a kind of a very basic scanner which definitely can lead up to getting good fundamental stocks. Okay. When it comes to quarterly level, to try to look for stocks where that particular quarter has been the best. Like, I will show you the Venus ka case. So you can look at Venus pipes and things. So try to look for the stocks where this quarter is showing an uptrend, as well as this quarter is the best quarter they have ever had in terms of all the growth parameters. So this is how you can take a deeper dive and validate good fundamental stock. Okay,
Okay. Thank you, sir.
right. You can definitely, if on my program side, the most aggressive fundamental scanner I have is in the breakout momentum program, as well as in the turtle or club program. I have got my most aggressive fundamental scanners. You can
Okay.
take it from there also if you intend to join. How to
Okay,
pyramid?
sir.
Pyramiding is simply, I don't do pyramiding by the way, but if you want to do pyramiding, simply figure out any particular moving average on which the stock is bouncing, or you can work on a super trend also. Wherever it bounces on the super trend, you keep adding. That is the approach that you can take. Like simply, if I take up a trending stock over here, I take a trending stock for 6 months daily. I'll take this time the stock RPG Life. You look at its fundamentals, good fundamentals, and that's why you can pyramid it. Then how to pyramid it? Just observe, put your moving averages one by one where it is bouncing off, right? So 20, it is really not touching itself. So what I will do, I'll move to 9. So whenever it bounces above 9, I'm going to add. That is what you'll have to plan. So try to figure out which moving average it is bouncing across frequently, not though it breaks down, but it bounces above, right? So try to match your entries over there. That is what is the best and easiest way that I have found. Another way is you can do it is that again you can typically go towards the uh, your CCI, and within the CCI you can look at these values, no? So like you can look at this CCI is placed on 20. So instead make it on 10. Then you'll figure out where it is crossing over most of the time. So it is crossing over 10 most of the time. So you can work also on CCI 10. So whenever it crosses above CCI 10, you can. So basically, based on indicators, you can decide moving average hai, CCI hai, you can do MACD, or even you can do RSI. You can decide that whenever it crosses 60, I will add. You can do it that way also. So use indicators to get you those spots where you would like to add. Okay. insight about risk reward for swings. Typically try to keep 1:2 risk reward. Your stop loss should be at one distance and your profit booking should happen at a two. Or depending on your strategy, how well it is, how deep you are picking the swings, you can also go for 1:3. Okay. Right. Anybody, any other question? Okay, guys, around 1 hour. Thank you for participating as well as thank you for being part of this session. I'll upload it onto the YouTube. Do give your comments if you would like to connect frequently, weekly, bi-weekly, or even you can put it up onto the Twitter. Appreciate your time. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye. Have a safe time in the market. As such, we are in a bullish phase till we are about 24,600. Remember the number 24,600. 24,600 to 24 will be in a sideways zone. Below 24 dukan ban, at least on the trend following and breakout strategies. Take care. Bye bye.